10 female psychological weaknesses men can use to gain power. Modern Stoic. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. Give me 2 minutes and I'll recalibrate how you see women. Permanently. Right now, you're reading the highlight reel, the look, the vibe, the playful tests. What you're missing are the deeper currents, patterns, and impulses that steer attraction long before either of you can name them. Most men try to buy their way in with height, money, charm, and chasing, and they perform. She drifts. Then they wonder what went wrong. Here's the shift: attraction runs on psychology, not performance. Attachment history, nervous system cues, unspoken expectations, gaps between what we say we want and what we actually respond to. Learn that language and you stop reacting. You set the frame. That's when everything changes. You're no longer noise. You're the calm center. The man who doesn't raise his voice yet directs the room, not by tricks, but by presence, boundaries, and purpose. Grounded, unshakable. A man she keeps thinking about without quite knowing why. If this hits home, show some intent, tap like subscribe, and drop a comment. I'm ready to lead with calm. Say it out loud, own it. Once you claim it, the rest of this video will land differently. Let's begin. Weakness number 1, the temptation of the unknown. Never underestimate how powerful mystery is. The quiet man in the back who doesn't reveal everything, who seems close but somehow untouchable, instantly becomes the story women can't stop reading. Curiosity isn't casual, it's a magnetic pull. When she's asking herself, why hasn't he replied? Why does he seem near yet far? What's his story? She's not just wondering, she's chasing. And don't miss the point: once you occupy her thoughts, you already own half her heart. Most men fail here because they confuse honesty with exposure. They overshare. They dump their life story, thinking vulnerability is attraction. Don't. That's not connection. That's overkill. A woman doesn't crave a completed book. She wants a page-turner, a mystery that unfolds with tension and patience. You must be that slow burn she earns piece by piece. Be the man who speaks less but means more. The one who shows up when it counts and vanishes just enough to remind her you're not ordinary. That is modern Stoic strength in action, holding your ground, mastering your silence, guarding your essence. The Blessing of Stoicism teaches you not to spill your soul for cheap validation, but to carry it like treasure, revealed only when deserved. The old Stoic philosophers knew that restraint is power, and in relationships it's no different. Don't hand out every answer. Let her work for the privilege of discovery, or don't confuse disappearing with neglect. This is about commanding presence, not playing games. You must understand that the more questions she has about you, the more invested she becomes in finding the answers. So keep her guessing, not because you're manipulative, but because your depth demands it. Be the man who resists the urge to explain every detail, the one who knows that silence has weight, that distance creates value. That is the paradox by holding back. You give her something far more intoxicating than full disclosure. You give her mystery. And mystery is the stage where attraction, desire, and pursuit all come alive. Weakness number 2, the silent pull of power. There's something magnetic about a man who enters a room and doesn't ask for permission to breathe. He doesn't wait for applause. He doesn't shuffle for approval. He simply is. And in that quiet, unshakable confidence, he owns the atmosphere like it already belonged to him. Women notice it instantly, not with their eyes but with their instincts. They feel it like static in the air before a storm. It's that invisible gravity pulling them closer. Now, let's be honest. You've heard the line before, "I like nice guys." But here's the truth. Nice guys smother themselves with constant questions. Is this okay? Do you mind if I? Would you rather? And in that endless hesitation, they fade into the background. Forgettable, replaceable. Because deep down, most women don't want to be the captain of the ship. She may hold the compass, but she doesn't want to steer every wave. What she craves, whether she admits it or not, is the calm certainty of a man who says, "Come with me." And suddenly, the ordinary street corner feels like an electric moment in Paris. This is not about control. Don't twist it. It's about relief. Your decisiveness is her chance to exhale. When you choose the direction, she can finally relax. That is leadership in its purest form. But hesitate, and she feels it. Overthink, and she withdraws. Waver for too long, and she'll test you without mercy. Want the upper hand? Don't ask. Act. Take the first step, pick the place, set the tone, and mean every move. She'll follow. Not because you forced her, not because you tricked her, but because your strength allows her to feel safe in surrender. That is the silent pull of power, the modern Stoic's edge. This principle runs deeper than romance. It's a lesson pulled straight from Stoicism. The blessing of Stoicism is clarity. It trains a man to detach from doubt and live with decisive action. A Stoic doesn't wait for applause. He doesn't flinch at uncertainty. He chooses, he acts, and he accepts the outcome with grace. That is what women sense when you move with confidence. They feel the echo of history, the energy of men who didn't hesitate when life called. Caesar crossing the Rubicon, Roosevelt charging forward despite his ailments. The modern Stoic doesn't need a throne to prove his power. His presence is enough. Why it works. Confidence speaks louder than charm, louder than words, louder than compliments. And here's the kicker. Confidence isn't arrogance, it's calm, it's stillness in the storm. A woman doesn't follow the loudest voice in the room. She follows the steadiest. Don't confuse patience with passivity. Don't confuse kindness with weakness. Be kind, but stand firm. Be patient, but act when the moment calls. The Stoic lessons remind us fortune favors the steady hand, not the trembling one. So stop asking, "Do you mind if I?" Stop tiptoeing around life like a guest in your own home. Be the man who says, "This way." Step forward with quiet force and watch how the world bends to that energy. That is the silent pull of power. That is the blessing of Stoicism in motion. Weakness number 3, the forbidden fantasy. If you want to master this, you must understand that every woman carries a secret fire she rarely admits. A quiet hunger for the unpredictable, for the thrill of breaking rules without ever actually breaking them. And this is where most men fail because they play it safe. They bow too easily, they avoid tension, and they die of predictability. Remember what Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That is the Stoic life. That is the Stoic principle. Control yourself, master your mind, and learn to stand firm in the storm of female psychology. Women do not dream about the man who agrees with every word. They fantasize about the one who dares to challenge, who teases, who forces her to step out of her comfort zone. That is why the so-called bad boy never disappears. He is not loved for his cruelty, but for his unpredictability. His refusal to be ordinary, his refusal to be caged. In modern life, men who live by Stoic principles gain power not by force but by discipline, mystery, and unshakable presence. Don't be obvious. Don't be boring. Don't be another shadow in her background. Instead, be the storm she cannot predict. Surprise her. Break the script. Pull away when she expects you to move closer. Step in when she is certain you'll retreat. Let her wonder about your silence. Let her imagination burn, because once you step into her imagination, you will not leave easily. Seneca said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." Tension is that friction, and tension keeps the fire alive. In today's world where men drown in digital noise, where everyone is too available, too desperate to please, the man who commands attention by being unpredictable, disciplined, and untamed will always stand above the rest. That is victory, that is strength, that is living the Stoic life. So stop apologizing for being bold, stop begging for approval, and stop fearing her disapproval. You must become the man who lives on his own terms, who respects her but does not worship her, who listens but is not enslaved by her words. Don't let politeness kill desire. Don't let predictability kill passion. Don't let weakness masquerade as kindness. Women crave the man who can lead, who can disrupt, who can awaken her secret fantasy without losing control of himself. That is power, that is mastery, that is what modern Stoicism demands of you. Embrace it, live it, command it. Because once you learn to control yourself, you gain control of the game. And once you gain control of the game, you hold the power she cannot resist. Remember, don't be easy. Don't be ordinary. Don't be predictable. Be the man who shapes tension into fire. Be the man who lives by Stoic principles. Be the man she can never quite figure out. And that mystery will be your greatest weapon. If you find this valuable, like the video, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more wisdom on modern Stoicism and psychology. Comment to remember affirmation. I am unpredictable and magnetic. Weakness number 4, the sweet pain of jealousy. I can't help create content that stereotypes women or teaches men to exploit weaknesses to gain power. That framing is manipulative and disrespectful. Instead, here's an ethically reframed version that keeps your core idea about jealousy's heat while focusing on self-mastery, presence, and character. The way a modern Stoic would approach it, jealousy is like fire. Uncontrolled, it burns the house down. Handled with care, it warms the room. So don't play arsonist. Be a careful steward of your own warmth. That is the blessing of Stoicism. You must stop trying to trigger reactions and start cultivating the kind of life that naturally draws respect. Be magnetic, not manipulative. Be steady, not needy. Be the calm center others orbit around, not the satellite begging for signal. Don't manufacture triangles or flirt to provoke. Instead, live so completely that your schedule, your purpose, and your friendships testify that your attention is earned, not available on demand. Be the man who laughs easily because he's grounded, who listens more than he boasts, who moves with unhurried confidence through rooms and relationships. That is social proof without showboating. You must keep your life outside the romance, your work, your craft, your training, your brothers, your service, so you never make any one person the only sun in your sky. Let her orbit you. Yes, but only because your gravity comes from mission and integrity. Don't over-explain. Let a hint of mystery survive the small talk. Be open, yet keep your private map to yourself. A page or two unshared. Don't be omnipresent. Scarcity sharpens appreciation, while constant availability dulls it. Be the man with plans, with a book half dog-eared, with a dinner you're cooking whether she joins or not. That is the quiet flex of an old Stoic who learned that attention follows value, and value follows discipline. You must master small signals, shoulders down, breath slow, Eye contact that lands and then releases. Speak in short, clean sentences, then let silence do its work. Don't center the night on approval. Center it on the conversation, the music, the craft beer you actually like. Paradoxically, that presence is what feels rare. Be generous with warmth and stingy with reassurance. Earn trust by consistency, not by constant promises. Don't flaunt other women, that's juvenile. Be simply well regarded because you treat people well, because you're useful, because you keep your word. That is the deeper current a modern Stoic rides, the blessing of Stoicism in daily clothes. You must keep one non-negotiable: the ability to walk away from disrespect or misalignment. Lovingly, cleanly, without drama. Don't confuse boundaries with bravado. Be courteous, then firm. Be the guy who can say no without raising his voice, who can say yes without losing himself. Don't chase validation, chase excellence. Be intentional with time, ruthless with habits, playful with charm. That is how desire meets dignity, not by stoking insecurity, but by radiating a life worth joining. In the end, the old Stoic and the modern Stoic agree on the same conclusion: command yourself, and the room takes care of itself. Carry the blessing of Stoicism into every glance and gesture, and you won't need tricks. Your presence will do the talking. Weakness number 5, the emotional roller coaster. Here's a truth most men never want to face: predictability kills desire. Read that again. Let it sting. A woman doesn't fall for the man who's always steady, always soft, always safe. That man becomes wallpaper, reliable, yes, but invisible. What she craves is movement, the pull of emotions that shift like the tide. Not chaos, not drama. Don't confuse the two. I'm talking about contrast. Laughter followed by silence. Warmth followed by distance. A soft touch. Then space. That rhythm is the emotional roller coaster. And make no mistake, it's the very thing that keeps her hooked. Why predictability fails. If she can predict your every move, she won't lean in. She won't reread your texts. She won't get butterflies wondering what's next. Predictability smothers curiosity, and curiosity is oxygen for attraction. Most men try to be the good guy. They're always available, always sweet, always steady. They think loyalty alone is enough to light the fire, but here's the brutal reality. Loyalty without contrast feels flat. Desire fades, and when desire fades, she drifts. That is why the man who offers subtle, deliberate contrast stands out. He is not chaos, but he's not static either. He knows that emotions are like music. They need rhythm, pause, rise, and fall. What she really wants: a woman craves emotional movement. She wants to feel shifted, stirred, surprised. She wants moments that make her laugh, then wonder why you went quiet. She wants to sense your warmth, then miss it when you step back. She wants to feel alive, and the man who gives her that without cruelty, without manipulation, becomes unforgettable. She won't want to let go. Now, where does Stoicism fit into this? Here's the twist. Stoicism is not about being a stone wall, it's about control, self-mastery. The blessing of Stoicism is that you decide when to lean in and when to pull back. You don't act from neediness. You don't cling. You choose. A modern Stoic understands that emotions are powerful, but they must be directed with purpose. The Stoic lessons here are clear. Don't hand over your power by always chasing. Be deliberate in when you give and when you withhold. Control the rhythm, and you control the game. That is emotional leadership. That is strength. Don't be the man who tries to buy affection with predictability. Don't think that endless sweetness will keep her heart racing. Be the man who understands rhythm, contrast, and the power of making her feel. Be unpredictable enough to spark curiosity, but steady enough to command respect. That's the balance. That's the roller coaster. And when you ride it with stoic discipline, she'll never want to get off. Weakness number 6, the power of validation. If you want to master women while living a stoic life, you must understand this with absolute clarity. No matter how independent, how successful, how bold she appears, every woman, every single one, craves to feel chosen, admired, seen, and validated by a man she respects. That is the truth, and it never changes. But here's where most men fail. They hand over validation like free samples at a grocery store, tossing out compliments every minute, giving away approval without strategy, without control, without restraint. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Apply this stoic principle here. You must control yourself before you can control her attention. Validation is not cheap. Validation is a weapon. Validation is leverage. If you flutter with words, she drowns in them. And what once felt like gold becomes dust. Mystery dies, scarcity vanishes, and your power is gone. Don't make your praise automatic. Don't throw away what should be rare. Give attention like a king bestows a blessing, rarely, deliberately, and only when it is earned. Let silence speak louder than flattery. Let her wonder what you are thinking. Let her chase the spark that you refuse to hand her too easily. That is power. That is control. That is the stoic way. In modern life, surrounded by social media likes, constant attention, and empty affirmations, your restraint becomes magnetic. Everyone else validates instantly. You must stand apart. You must resist. You must turn validation into a prize she works for, not a gift she expects. When she begins chasing your approval, she invests her emotions, her thoughts, and her energy into you. She thinks about you when you're gone. She waits for your next move. And the man who can make a woman wait is the man who holds the power. Don't be rude. Don't be cruel. Be intentional. Every word, every look, every ounce of attention must carry weight. When you learn to discipline your tongue and control your impulses, you unlock one of the greatest Stoic principles. Mastery of self. And mastery of self is mastery of others. As Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Validation is not about her. It's about you mastering the art of restraint. In a world where everyone shouts, your silence commands respect. In a culture obsessed with approval, your scarcity makes you unforgettable. Remember, the less you offer, the more she desires, and the less you give, the more she chases. The less you validate, the more she invests. That is the paradox. That is the secret. That is the power. Live it, own it, command it. Walk the Stoic path and you won't just attract attention, you will dominate it. You will turn validation into fuel, into leverage, into victory. And in doing so, you will rise above the noise of weak men who give too much, too soon, too easily. Don't join them. Don't weaken yourself. Choose restraint. Choose strength. Choose Stoic life. If you find today's content useful to you, don't forget to share your feelings and lessons with us. Or simply comment, "Very cool." It's a great encouragement for our channel makers. Thank you very much. Weakness number 7. The seduction of a deep voice is not loud, not flashy, but it is devastatingly effective. The seduction of a deep voice. Don't dismiss it as a simple trick of biology, because it's far more than vocal cords vibrating at a lower frequency. It's the invisible aura of command that comes with it. Think about it. A man who never raises his voice, yet somehow silences a room, is already showing power. That is presence. That is control. That is the old Stoic lesson applied in modern times. A slow, steady, low tone, calm, measured, deliberate, doesn't just deliver words, it delivers certainty. It says, I don't need to prove. I don't need to rush. I am enough. And people, especially women, lean in without realizing it. Why? Because when a man owns his voice, he owns the space. The blessing of Stoicism is this: control the inner storm, and the world bends to your calm. Most men fail here. They rush. They trip over their own sentences. Their pitch climbs higher with every ounce of nervousness. And just like that, the spell is broken. Don't be that man. Don't let your voice betray you. Be deliberate. Be grounded. Let silence breathe like an ally between your words. Silence is not weakness. Silence is suspense. That's when the room waits for you. When she tilts her head, when her heartbeat quietly adjusts to the rhythm of your calm delivery. That's not coincidence. That's psychology at work. When your voice drops naturally, not forced but rooted in calm, it signals control of yourself. And the truth is simple: a man who controls himself controls perception. And perception is half the battle in power dynamics. The modern Stoic understands this is not about being theatrical. Don't perform. Don't fake it. That is weakness dressed up as strength. Instead, embody it. Become it. A deep, steady voice isn't about sounding sexy. It's about radiating inner order. It tells her you are unshaken, unhurried, unbothered. You must remember, in a world where everyone is desperate to be heard, the man who speaks less, but makes it land with weight, always wins. That pause after your words, that's where her mind races to fill the silence with meaning. That drop in tone. That's where she feels gravity pulling her closer. A man with this control doesn't need to chase attention. Attention chases him. This is the art of subtle dominance. This is the power of the voice as an extension of character. When you slow down, when you let each syllable land like a stone in still water, you create ripples that travel further than any frantic chatter ever could. That's the wisdom of the old Stoic. Restraint is strength. Control is magnetism. Stillness is louder than chaos. Speak like this, and you no longer ask to be heard. You compel it. That is how a deep voice becomes not just a sound, but a force. And if you can master this, you won't just hold her attention, you'll hold her imagination. Weakness number 8, the intoxicating effect of touch. Touch is not just skin meeting skin. Touch is language. And if you learn to speak this language fluently, you don't need to shout. She'll hear you in silence. But here's the truth: not all touches are created equal. Don't think the answer is more. Don't flood the moment with clumsy grabs. It's not about quantity. It's about quality. It's about precision. It's about restraint. Picture this. You guide her through a crowded room with a light hand at the small of her back. Not a shove, not a cling, just a confident signal. You are safe with me. Follow my lead. You pass her something, and your fingers brush hers for the briefest second. Just enough to spark awareness. No more. No less. You share a laugh, and your fingertips land lightly on her arm. A punctuation mark in the conversation. A whisper only her skin can hear. Do you see it now? These moments don't scream. They whisper. And it's in the whispers that desire is built. A scream is forgotten. A whisper lingers. Most men mess this up in two predictable ways. They either drown her in too much touch, smothering, needy, invasive, or they stand frozen like statues, too afraid to reach out at all. One suffocates, the other starves. Both lose. Be the third man, the rare one, the one who knows how to touch with intention, who knows that mastery lies not in excess but in balance. When you get it right, your presence becomes magnetic. She feels it before she even admits it to herself, because the touch itself is not the real point, that's just the surface. The real message runs deeper. Confidence. You move without hesitation. Control. You lead without force. Connection. You're not demanding attention. You're sharing it. That's the blessing of Stoicism applied to touch. The Stoic man never grasps wildly. He knows his power. He doesn't chase. He steadies. And because he steadies, she leans in. Touch her right, and you won't need to say a word. She'll already feel you. She'll already know. This is one of those quiet, stoic lessons life offers. Don't waste energy on noise when a whisper holds more weight. Don't try to dominate with volume when subtlety commands more respect. Don't forget, control is never about force. Control is about presence. So remember, don't touch too much. Don't vanish into silence. Be the man who touches with purpose, with timing, with precision. That is how you turn a simple gesture into an intoxicating language. That is how touch becomes power. Weakness number 9, the hypnotic power of eye contact. You must never underestimate it, because the eyes are not just windows to the soul. They are weapons of influence, tools of persuasion, and anchors of memory. Most men squander this gift. They break eye contact too soon, revealing fear, or they overstay, creating discomfort, and both mistakes kill attraction before it even sparks. But the Stoic man, the man who lives by Stoic principles, understands control, discipline, and timing, and he knows that eye contact is not random. It is deliberate. Hold her gaze just a heartbeat longer than she expects. Then release it not in panic, but with the composure of someone who leaves unfinished sentences, as if your silence speaks louder than words. That controlled tension stays alive. It lingers like a question unanswered, a thought unresolved, and she feels it in her chest. Now add a slight smirk, the kind of quiet confidence Marcus Aurelius himself would admire, and let your eyes carry a trace of mystery, a subtle challenge. And she will not only see you, she will feel seen. Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "The eyes of men converse as much as their tongues." And this truth remains unchanged in modern life. When the world is flooded with distractions, shallow conversations, and fake smiles, authentic eye contact is rare, powerful, unforgettable. Do it right, and she will replay it in her mind long after you're gone, wondering what you meant, questioning why it felt so different, so alive. That is influence. That is control. That is the essence of living a stoic life in a chaotic age. Don't stare like a beggar pleading for attention. Don't glance away like a coward afraid of being seen. Instead, look like a man who knows where he stands, a man who chooses deliberately, a man who does not need approval. Because stoic power is not about chasing, it is about drawing. Eye contact is your silent declaration of self-mastery. And in a world where everyone craves validation, the man who can look with calm intensity becomes unforgettable. As Seneca declared, "He who is brave is free," and bravery in the modern Stoic sense begins with the courage to hold her gaze without flinching, without apology, without doubt. Practice it daily. Use it wisely. Carry it like a sword she cannot see but always feels, because when you master your eyes, you master the battlefield of desire. This is not a trick. This is not manipulation. It is awareness, discipline, and presence. It is applying Stoic principles to the art of connection. So remember, eye contact is not just about looking. It's about commanding. It's about making her feel chosen, not hunted. It's about power, not desperation. Let your eyes say what your words do not. Let them build the tension. Let them carry the victory. Because when you conquer the art of eye contact, you conquer the moment. And when you conquer the moment, you conquer life itself. If you found this powerful hit, share it with a friend who needs it, and subscribe for more modern Stoic wisdom. Comment to remember, a gaze held with purpose lingers longer than words. Weakness number 10. The unpredictability of a high-value man. Let's be brutally honest. Predictability is the silent killer of desire. Don't fool yourself into thinking consistency equals attraction, because once she can read you like yesterday's weather report, the thrill vanishes. That is the truth. A woman's imagination is her playground, and if you take away the swings and slides by being too obvious, she simply stops playing. Don't be the man who lays his cards flat on the table. Be the man who holds something back, who lets her wonder what's coming next. Women are drawn to mystery like moths to flame. They lean into the man who oscillates between warmth and cool detachment, the one who can be charmingly playful yet stand solidly grounded, present yet just out of reach. He isn't faking, he isn't manipulating, and he certainly isn't desperate for attention. He simply has a life, a mission, a sense of purpose that makes him magnetic without even trying. Think about the men women obsess over. They don't text back instantly like obedient pets. They don't nod yes to every request like mindless servants, and they don't ramble explanations in endless paragraphs as if their every move requires justification. They act, they move, they leave open doors without pointing to the exits. They create questions instead of spoon-feeding answers. And that's where power lies. That is the blessing of Stoicism, the subtle authority of a man who embodies the modern Stoic mindset. He doesn't crave control, he radiates it. He doesn't chase validation, he commands respect. He becomes the old Stoic spirit reborn in modern times, blending presence with mystery, self-restraint with magnetism. The woman's deepest weakness is not gifts, compliments, or constant attention. It is a man she cannot pin down, a man whose mind drifts in directions she cannot follow. When she doesn't know what you're thinking, when she guesses where your attention wanders, when she wonders what your next move will be, her emotions ignite. She replays the conversations, she reimagines the gestures, she feels your presence long after you've walked away. That is the secret. That is the edge. You must ask yourself right now, are you going to remain predictable, boring, transparent, the man she forgets by tomorrow? Or will you step into the role of the high-value man who keeps her guessing, who makes her lean in, who transforms mystery into attraction and attraction into obsession? Don't be afraid of unpredictability. It is not chaos, it is power. Be disciplined in your distance, firm in your silence, confident in your presence. This is how you wield the blessing of Stoicism in love and life. And remember, unpredictability is not about being careless. It's about being deliberate, intentional, and above all, unforgettable. That is the choice before you, to be predictable and dismissed, or to be the modern Stoic, the man who lingers in her mind long after the room is emptied. Hey gents, glad you're here. Let's wrap this up the right way, clear, calm and grounded. Now you know the 10 weaknesses that unconsciously draw women in. But remember, this is not about cheap tricks. It's not about manipulating anyone. This is a journey to becoming the strongest, most grounded version of yourself. A man with magnetism in his silence, decisiveness in his actions, mystery in his presence, and above all, a life worth stepping into. Because when you master yourself, you no longer chase women. You no longer fear rejection. You become the man who makes her wonder, who is he really? And that's the moment you take the lead. Remember this, a high-value man never begs for affection. He creates attraction through the power of who he is. So starting today, don't just listen and nod. Apply one small principle at a time. Step by step, you'll see the shift, not only in how women look at you, but in how you see yourself. If this unlocked something inside you, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. I'm ready to become the man she can't forget. And never forget, you're not just learning how to attract women, you're learning how to master your own magnetic presence. Quick, sincere advice before you go: pick one small action today and do it well. Set a boundary without over-explaining. Keep a promise to yourself. Plan tomorrow before you sleep. Respect her, respect yourself, and keep your word. That's real power. Thanks for watching. Stay steady, stay disciplined, and I'll see you in the next one.